well, Greg, it's nice to have you with us, and it's nice to have you back in the team after so long, so much frustration last season. I know it's been a bit tricky with the results, but have a run of games again. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it, to get back into the team and yeah, get a run of games has been really good for me. I think it's quite difficult when I was kind of at the start of the season, just waiting for maybe the Papa John's games to come along and get my minutes. But yeah, I've been fortunate enough to play in the last few, and I'm really looking forward to kind of trying to stay in the team and carry on how we've been going, really.
When you come into a new season, having had the season that you had last time around, is there a sense of you do have to prove to yourself, I can do this, I can get back on a roll?
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of I was a little bit nervous going into pre-season. Like, I knew I was fit in terms I could run and things like that, but when you get in with the lads, it's a little bit different. And yeah, I think once I got my first couple of games under my belt, I realised, yeah, I can do this. It's no problem. And ever since then, it's kind of just been building on my confidence in training and getting the game time.
Yeah, and I suppose a little bit different as well, in that you had that taste of League One football at the start of last season, but just a couple of games, and then you've had to wait for so long. So you had that side of it to deal with as well.
Yeah, obviously I was gutted about it because we were coming off of such a good season, and I was coming off of personally a good season, and I wanted to take that into the one going forward. But yeah, it wasn't to be. So yeah, I'm kind of just starting again, really, and kind of chucking myself at it. And I know results haven't been what we wanted to, but I've enjoyed definitely to have the game time.
And I suppose we ought to mention the start of the game last week. We always talk about how experience helps you deal with things when they go against you. Obviously not the first 10 minutes you would have wanted, but presumably you were, I know it doesn't necessarily make up for it, but I presume you were quite pleased with how it went thereafter. You managed to get some pretty crucial blocks and headers in.
Yeah, of course, it's never ideal. And obviously the long ball came up and we got caught out. And yeah, I mean, it's not the first time I've been in situations like that. I think it's the nature of being a defender. You kind of, that's part of the job. You will get that kind of situation happen. But yeah, I've had that before, and I use my experience and kind of just put it to the back of your mind and crack on. And from then onwards, I thought I did well, and like you say, got a couple of blocks in and things like that. So yeah, for me, it's more important how you react to kind of them situations, and to then carry on and do the best you can.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it, sometimes as a defender, in that probably afterwards, watching the highlights back, you think, well, didn't really need to bother touching it. I'd have been better off letting it go through, but you just don't know at the time.
Yeah, watching it back, I wish I had have let it go, but at the time, it's so unnatural to not try and get anything on the ball. So it's just one of those situations that it was unfortunate. But yeah, that's to the back of my mind now. And yeah, like you say, I carried on with the game, and I thought I did well. And yeah, them situations happen, unfortunately.
And with the back three, the change of formation, is that something that you've had previous in your career? I can't honestly remember if you've done much of a back three during your time with the U's or not.
I haven't had too much exposure to it. I've predominantly been in the back four. I think we played a few games under Colin Calderwood here. We had a spell of the three at the back. So yeah, it's kind of just adapting to it and getting the game exposure to it and going through things in training, just to kind of work out what problems can arise and how we can then use it positively as well. So I think it's just a learning curve for everybody.
And what's the general atmosphere like around the club at the moment? Of course, you want to be winning games, but it's the nature of football. Sometimes you'll hit a bit of a rut. How's the feel?
I think it's quite good around the camp at the minute. We're very much a squad. I think Bonds has created an atmosphere of it's obviously not great with results, but it doesn't help with us coming in being flat and disheartened, and we have to kind of keep the morale high and play like we've probably won the last six, because if we come into games with that confidence, we've got more of a chance. And I think the game on Tuesday definitely helped by getting a result. I know obviously we didn't progress in the competition, but just to get that winning feeling and to have that to carry into the weekend will be a big positive.
Right, I will get out of the way and let the other two jump in.
Just quickly from me, Greg, obviously Mark said in his interview that Adam May, it looks like he's been ruled out for the season. Just how much of a shame is that? And given your injury last season, how much do you look to help him in this situation?
Yeah, I'm absolutely gutted for him. It's never nice. Obviously, I've been there last year, and as soon as I found out the news, I kind of went over to him and gave him a big cuddle, and as much as all the rest of the boys did as well, just to kind of get around him. And naturally, he's going to be disheartened and upset, because I think it's probably one of the first injuries that he's kind of had. So it's always going to be new for him and how to deal with it. So yeah, I let him know that if he needs anything, then he can come to me and speak to me, and I'll help him in any way I can. But I think initially he'll just need to take some time and just do what makes him happy for a few days, and then kind of get his head right and kind of crack on with everything that he needs to do. But we'll all be behind him for sure.